Is Married at First Sight is huge. Everyone is watching it. You know how it all works. And in the middle of the whole thing is a Kiwi relationship expert, John Aiken. Give it up! Woo!
It is wonderful to be here.
Yeah. John, your intro was about as healthy as one of those relationships you're trying to help in Married at First Sight.
Yes.
So we've got the right man here. Welcome along to New Zealand.
Yeah, look, we certainly have our hands full with this cast this year, Series 10. We wanted to make a splash, and I think we've done that. It's got people talking, and, you know, this year we've got quite a number of men behaving badly.
Toxic masculinity, like it's like you're swimming through it this season. There's so much of it. But what I am interested to know with you is I feel like your role on the show has kind of evolved over the seasons, sort of starting last season and now this season. Can you talk a little bit about that? Does it feel like that?
Yes, I kind of feel like I'm the old guy on the couch yelling at them a lot.
Which is amazing!
Yeah, because, you know, over 10 seasons they start to kind of feel like they know what's going on. And so we really, when we see bad behaviour, we really have to lean into it and call it out. And I think this year we've really held mirrors up and held them to account, because if you don't do it then, they're just going to keep repeating old mistakes.
And also I think it sends a message to the audience watching too. Like, you're meant to be this guy, this expert on this panel of experts. It's just like, oh, la, 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 I can't see these guys being absolute losers. Yeah.
It's very funny when I do it too, when I call them out, because they look at me as though no one's spoken to me like this before. It's like they've never heard this. So it's a real privilege to be in that position, and you just have to do it in a very short, sharp way so they listen.
Yeah.
Does their terrible behaviour ever shock you? Because it gets pretty wild.
Oh, all the time. Yeah, no, I mean, you know, we had many situations this year already where they not only behave poorly, but then they double down and they say, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. So it's not only what they're doing, but also they're not really able to see the consequences of it. And so the show is, in a way, wonderful to watch, where you learn what not to do in a relationship. You know, if you're single, you say, I've got to avoid that type. And if you're in a relationship, you go, we've got to stop doing that together.
Or you feel really smug because you're like, we don't do that.
Oh, yeah, you feel good about yourself when you watch MAFS.
Because honestly, the show aside, do you reckon human beings are getting worse at relationships?
Well, I like to think that we are raising the bar, Jesse, and getting them more educated about relationships. But yes, you know, dating apps, it becomes very transactional, and people don't understand quite how they hurt people's feelings. And in this world of social media as well, they can just miss the important things, the human side of things. And I think we see that with some of our participants. They don't understand why they're single, and they don't know how to have relationships.
I also wonder if the world is telling us it's all about me, right? Look after yourself, and put yourself first. But actually, in relationships, that's sometimes not true, right?
No, you want to be able to look outside yourself, and I think one of the big roles we play is trying to get them to develop insight. You know, you're not going to be able to change if you can't see the problem. And unfortunately, a lot of people on our show don't know why they're single. And so I have a job to do.
It's a frustrating job. You're a relationship expert. But, like, surely one key thing in a healthy relationship is not to get married at first sight?
Yes. It is unusual, I'll grant you that. We have a strange sort of setup at the beginning of the show. They don't actually get married, but we do throw them together. We throw all sorts of challenges at them over 8 weeks that couples normally have over several years. But I'd have to say that most of the time our guys, they probably start off on the back foot, and they've got to really upskill quickly if they're going to get over the line. Some do, a lot don't.
Yeah. It's a steep learning curve, and God, it is good to watch. Like, it's terrible, but we love it. Married at First Sight Australia is this Sunday at 7. Thank you so much, John Aiken.
It's an absolute pleasure. Wonderful to be here.
Great.